Who is a volcano's favorite minor character from Harry Potter? Stanley Eruption-Pike. Welcome to the stream, my friends. If you ever needed if you ever needed evidence that my jokes are written for an audience of one, oh, look no further than tonight's opening. I hope you're well, though. I'm very grateful to have you here. I hope you've had a fantastic weekend, and welcome to a Sunday stream. Right? It's Sunday, and we're here early, and we're here for. Unfortunately, we're here for Jump King and an impossible Punch Out run. But we'll try our best. We'll try our best. Welcome in, my friends. Dead Zergling is first in chat tonight, followed by EpiPen, Lucent Jelly, and Chozo Brain. I saw your pre-stream message, Chozo, but for first in chat, I only start counting from after I hit the start streaming button. I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here early, but the messages before I hit the button on my end are DQ'd. Thank you for being here, everybody. How's everyone doing? Pretty good. I'm doing pretty all right. My energy level's a bit low. My energy level is a bit low. I'm up to where you are in Dark Souls 2. Played 8 hours straight. Just need to do the Scorpion boss area. Right on. That's some very impressive progress, Chozo. Volcano Ron Weasley. Welcome in. Defiant Salem. Pleasure to have you with us tonight. Twitch has been doing something weird where a lot of the screen names are showing up in weird colors of font that are very difficult to read now. And it just seems to happen randomly. I don't know enough about Harry Potter to get that joke. Yeah, I figure you're probably not alone, Jozo. Surprised you're doing Punch Out / Jump King in this order? No, I think this is the way to do it. I think that I made a mistake doing it the other way around before, because Punch Out is the more strenuous game, so I should do that one second. Itarama, welcome in, Itty. Thank you for the stretch break. We'll start off with that in just a moment. Hey, Sir Punks-a-Lot, welcome in. Great to have you here. A rare treat. I'm exhausted. We went to the Ren Fair today. Sounds like a good time to me. I hope you got a giant turkey leg. I love the idea of a giant turkey leg from the Ren Fair. Like, it looks beautiful, and turkey meat's pretty alright. Not my favorite, but it's alright to have from time to time. But eating it in the format of the giant turkey leg, there's so much, like, sinew. There's so much, cartilage. It's very difficult to eat. It's very difficult to, like, prize away the meat from, all the, less edible parts. Stream stretches. Yeah, let's go for it. And I think no wheel tonight. I think the wheel is still turned off. I think no wheel tonight. I don't feel up to it. Hey Tommy, welcome in. Welcome in. I purchased Jump King. Another has made the mistake. I'm still at the bottom next to the old man talking about the hot babe at the top. Might be as far as I get. I ended I ended the first, I think, 4 or 5 streams down there at the bottom, Tommy. So don't give up hope. All right, I think we can. I think we can stretch. They watch, but they don't understand or learn. Do not buy Jump King, Zergling says. But I make it look like so much fun. We bought an orb for my husband. He was dressed as a wizard, so he needed an orb, as all good wizards do. Mandatory wizard equipment, right? Beard, staff, pipe, orb. Can get a couple good bites off a turkey leg, that it's less work to just take it apart. Yeah. There's a great big Ren Fair in Texas. When Jelly and I lived in Houston, we used to go to the Ren Fair about once a year. I don't think we went necessarily every year. I think we skipped one or two, but it was a lot of fun. I'm kind of reading the chat in a very I don't understand. The more strenuous games second, doesn't that mean your strength will be depleted and you will do worse? Maybe. I felt like I had a good reason for the switch, but it's not coming back to me now. Frownie, have you ever played Booger Man on the Genesis or SNES? Such a good game, 8 out of 10. I have not. I've heard the title. I think I've even seen the cartridge, but I've never played the game. All right, I think I'm caught up. If I missed an important message, I'm sorry. Thank you for the coffee, by the way, Jelly. We ate dinner late tonight. We had pork fried rice again, but I was busy scarfing it down mere moments before the stream. I announced when I was going live, and then I don't know. I didn't calculate very well. So we have been at Jump King for almost 113 hours on just this playthrough. This is DLC 2, map number 3. And this is, unlike DLC 1, well, spoilers for Jump King. might want to not listen for like 60 seconds if you don't want to hear a bit about the way the maps work. I'd pull my headphones away for about 60 seconds starting now. DLC 1 branches off of the main story, and so it's largely a separate map, but not entirely a separate map. DLC 2 is entirely a separate map. But we finished DLC 1. Actually, yeah, I finished DLC 1 first. Then I finished the main game, and then we restarted. It says attempt 4 because I misunderstood the way the menus work. I actually ended up replaying DLC 1 a second time. But this is our third, like, unique playthrough through the game, and should be our final one. I've been at it for a very long time, though, as you can see, and occasionally I reach a new PB, so I am reaching higher heights every other night or so, just slightly. I usually just get, I'm lucky if I get one screen above my previous PB. I usually get like one platform above my previous PB if I make progress. So it's been very slow going. Spoilers, I'll never get past the first map, Joseph says. It's definitely not for everyone, right? It's very, like, this game is, like, extremely, like, simple, which is what makes it extremely difficult. Like, the jump is really, I mean, you can walk around a little bit, but the jump's really the only move you have, and it's such a minimalistic jump in a way too, and that, like, you don't have much control, right? You can pick a direction and an intensity, sort of, you know. You can pick a direction, up, left, or right, and depending on your sense of timing, you can sort of pick an intensity. But, like, the jump arc is fixed. There's no mid-air controller adjustments. Like, it's really sort of stripped down mechanically, and it can be very jarring. It can be very jarring how difficult that makes it. But that's kind of what I like about it. I think I might need to use a different controller and not the Xbox controller. The Xbox face buttons go deep, like they're like analog buttons, like the PS2. Yeah. So I play it on the Switch, so I have the SNES controller. Works really well. I like having the D-pad. I wouldn't want to play with a joystick. Not that I think it would be that big of a difference. Or probably not even really a difference at all. But I don't know. Any 2D game, if I can get away with the D-pad, I absolutely want to use it. And yeah, you don't want analog buttons. You definitely want, like, it'd be better just to play it if you're on the computer. It'd be better just to play it with the keyboard, I would imagine. Just the because you just need the directions in one button. Try out the Switch controller with it. Yeah. The I've used the Pro controller with it, and that's fine. But I like the feel of the SNES controller better. I like the form factor, right? Even though it doesn't have the legs. Overshooting jumps in this area can be devastating. May order one of the SNES controllers. Is it Nintendo brand or third party? Oh, it's Nintendo. It's Nintendo made. I got mine, I got it directly from their website. I don't like the, so I have the NES controllers. I have two NES controllers because you have to buy them as a 2-pack, or at least you did when I bought it. I don't like the NES controllers. They seem really laggy. I might have got a bad pair because I haven't heard other people complain about them, but I get a lot of input lag with the NES controllers for some reason that go with the Switch. So they disappointed me. I don't like those very much. But I got the SNES controller, and I got just one of those, and I really like it. It's really, really good. I got the Nintendo 64 one they put out as well, but I've never taken it out of the box. Hey, Fuzzy Boots, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. We started a little early tonight. I don't feel this is quite what you meant when you asked a while back. I think it was you that asked if I ever start streams earlier. This is slightly earlier. If I'm misremembering and mixing you up with someone else, my apologies. I do that sometimes. Keyboard can be great, Zergling said, as long as the game doesn't have diagonals. Yeah, I don't think diagonals do anything for you in Jump King. If they do, then I've been playing the whole game with a major, like, self-imposed drawback. It was me. This is earlier. It's a little earlier tonight. Jelly and I got a lot of work done in our basement tonight, and you can't even tell, but we can tell. Oh, we worked down here in the basement for a couple hours trying to get stuff organized, and I feel really productive though. It really doesn't look like we did anything to an outside observer. Got a lot. We've got so much. We've got so much getting the house in order yet to do. Hey, welcome in, Uncle Muscles. Greeting fellow princes and princesses of Jump. Greetings, Uncle Muscles. Thank you for joining us. Productive is a satisfying thing. We've got a very limited amount of time before our baby is due. Today is the 8th. We've got 1, 2. We've got like 3 full weeks, 3.5 weeks. 3.5 weeks, really? Hang on, what? 1, 2, 3, 3.5 weeks. Oh my goodness. It's coming up quick. It's coming up quick, Salem. No. That, by the way, is the highest environment I have reached. I have not seen what's above the volcano area. My PB is a few screens higher than where we just were, but still in that same environment. That could theoretically, that could possibly be the last environment of the game. That could be the top. The fact that it's a tower, I think it says something tower, is a good sign. But I got there was a fake out earlier, so I know better than to get my hopes up. Yeah, Tower of Antumbra. I don't know what that means. I have like 1,900 hours in Dark Souls 2. Across several platforms combined. 360, PS4, 5, Xbox One. That's a lot of hours. Is Dark Souls 2 your favorite of the series? Or have you put even more time into the other ones? I guess those questions aren't necessarily mutually exclusive, but... It's the one that took you first. Then Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne took your heart. Spent almost 2,400 hours in Elden Ring. That's some very serious time. I don't think I'm close to you in the amount of hours spent in any game. Dark Souls 1, 785. So, I think I've only got one game. I think I've only got one game in my whole life where I've spent more than 1,000 hours playing it, and that's Animal Crossing New Horizons. spent about 1,200 hours in that game. And that was almost entirely in the first, like, 6 months of its release. And I don't play with time travel. So, if you're familiar with the game, you know, think of how playing that game day one and not time traveling really reduces the amount of stuff there is to do in that game. There's not a lot of stuff to do in New Horizons to begin with. And then there's really not when you add those sort of complications on the top. So I think that says a lot of things about my personality. I can really get sucked into meaningless repetitive tasks. I had fun though. I liked that game a lot. I liked the time I spent with it anyway. How many games with 1,000 hours on one completion? Uncle Muscle says. Jump King wants to be. Jump King wants to be number one for that. For sure. I'm back into New Horizons a little lately. I logged in. I logged in and visited my island actually a couple months ago. I don't know. I don't think I talked about it on stream when we played Gravity Circuit around that time. So like 2 months, maybe a month and a half ago. Off stream, I put in Animal Crossing and just kind of revisited my island just to take a look at it. And I had forgotten. I couldn't believe how little I remembered of all the stuff I'd built. It was pretty weird. Don't feel bad, Frownie. It would take most of us 3 times as long as you to get through this. Oh, I don't know. Just something to pass the time again when work is slow, Punk says. It took me a couple streams of watching Frownie playing Jump King to decide I would never buy it, so Kling says. But it's so much fun. Excuse me just a moment. Okay. No! Stardew Valley is a game that I don't play because I know I would love it too much. I know if I bought and I started to play Stardew Valley, it would consume me. I would do nothing else. I would do nothing else. My whole life would become like daily 18-hour streams of Stardew Valley. Everyone could watch me wither away live as I get completely lost and forget to do anything else. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know which one was me and which one was Isaac. It's an addictive game for sure. Yeah, I just know, like, with my history of, like, Animal Crossing and with Harvest Moon games, like Friends of Mineral Town and New Beginning, I got super obsessed with those for a good long while. Yeah, I know. Stardew Valley would eat me alive. I mean, I've gotten lost in Minecraft too, at times, which is really bizarre because I'm the worst Minecraft player on the planet. I never accomplish anything in that game. I just spend unreasonable amounts of hours hoarding resources for nothing. Just let me fill up one more treasure chest with diamonds. Just one more treasure chest. Just one more. You can walk? You can walk in the quicksand? I didn't even realize that. No! Oh my goodness. Oh, I wonder if the snake ring would be beneficial up there. Probably not. Uh-oh. It might let me walk through this quicksand better, but it also might make me fall through it faster. I don't know if that's worth risking. Especially when I'm already so good at navigating it. He lied. Complimenting the game makes it want you to play it more and more. Doesn't make me want to play it more and more. It makes the game want me to play it more and more. I see, yeah. When I compliment the game, it sets me back. Oh, no worries, Chozo. No. So the plan this week, if I'm able to stick to it, we're going to try and play Pizza Tower tomorrow and Tuesday. Same game, 2 nights in a row. Pretty rare we do that around here. But I'm going to try and give that game 2 nights. Dark Souls 2 will be regular Wednesday and Friday. And A Nightmare on Elm Street will be Thursday night. That's the NES game. Which I've never played before, so I don't really expect to make it through in one night. Goal for night 1 is just to figure out the mechanics of the game. Because it has been suggested to me that my no manual approach may make it rather tricky. We played Nightmare on Elm Street on the Commodore 64. And that game was mechanically very difficult to figure out. I didn't finish it. We just kind of sampled it for a while. But yeah, just figuring out how to get started with that game was rather nightmarish. That was punishing. Salem the Cat, welcome in. How did you get into playing retro garbage? I don't really know. How did my taste for super trash games develop? That's a tough one to figure out. I don't know. It's something of a recent development. I haven't intentionally played substandard games my entire life. Oh no. I've definitely had chance encounters with pretty bad games. You know, all throughout my life. Call of Duty on the 360. I was into Call of Duty for a little while. Hey, Mark, welcome in. I don't know what half of those things are. Hopefully you had a good time. A fellow Salem. Yeah, we've got Defiant Salem and Salem the Cat. 2 Salems. All started when Frownie was 5 years old, and Frownie's dad brought home Battletoads. Oh, if I had played Battletoads as a kid, I can't imagine I would have liked it. Probably the most dubious game from my childhood is Bartman meets Radioactive Man, which I do actually rather like, though it is a very low quality game. I don't know, my fascination with like janky trash games is a more recent development than my fascination with difficult games. Like I really only started becoming like kind of laser focused on like with my passion for really challenging games about 10 years ago. Probably a little bit before that. Because like I always loved Super Ghouls and Ghosts. It's a game that I've really liked ever since it came out. But I didn't really know about its reputation for being so super difficult. I mean, I knew I never beat it for the longest time. Because I could never figure out how to beat it. And then I don't know, when I found out that game was considered to be like impossibly difficult, that inspired me to finally like go back and beat that one. And then it was like, well, now I've done this game. I should do Ghosts and Goblins on the NES. And then that made me want to do Castlevania, and it was just one after another. I was like, well, if a game is like notoriously difficult, now I want to beat it. So it kind of happened like that, and I really don't know how the trash games started. I guess just from having a lot of them in my collection. Just because I scoop a lot up because they're cheap. And then it's like, well, I have this, I should try and play it. Played my fair share of bad or jank or subpar games back in the day before YouTube came out, Mock says. Mine's Pugsley's Scavenger Hunt. That's your trash game from your childhood. That's a rough one. I think I got the better end of the deal with Bartman. Dubious game from my childhood is Rugrats in Paris, Salem says. You know, I actually own a whole bunch of Rugrats games. I've been thinking for a while about we've played one of them on the stream before. It wasn't that one. It was we played Rugrats Scavenger Hunt. I was thinking about making a thing of it and playing a bunch of them, but never got around to it. But that's one of them. I'm pretty sure I have that one on maybe the Nintendo 64. I'm not sure what platform it's on. But I know I've got it on something. I got burnt out on challenging games, Mock says. No, I haven't done the Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero. I've heard it's something that I would enjoy. But I haven't ever given it a go. Playing through a retro backlog is likely to bring trash to light, Itty says. Yeah, the Rugrats game we played, yeah, it's like a Mario Party game. It's kind of like a Mario Party, except it didn't have mini games, I don't think. I think it's just the board game, so it's not even really Mario Party. I think it's just board game. I don't know, it wasn't very great, and I didn't technically complete it either. I only won 2 of the 3 game modes, so, I guess I do have to finish it someday. That's what I appreciate about you and Sark, among other streamers. Highlight really difficult slash trash retro games, and it's fun. Oh, yeah. Sark puts himself through some real. Sark puts himself through some real brutal nonsense. I like to ideally try and aim for a mix of I want to try and generally do about like half decent games, half dubious games, but I don't know. The balance is never actually quite right. And I'm always picking stuff that's way too hard. A Metroidvania marathon. That's a big commitment. So the thing about that is I would like to play those games. So I've never played the games. So I've only the Metroidvania games. We did Symphony of the Night on the stream. That was my only playthrough of that. And off stream, I played Circle of the Moon, but never finished it. And I played through Order of Ecclesia, and I really love Order of Ecclesia. That game is great. I would play that one on stream just to play it again. The others I haven't done, I would like to do. Doing the marathon style is not a good idea for me because I don't love that type of game. They're fun to play every now and then, and again, I do love Order of Ecclesia, but in general, that type of game I don't love. So it would be a slog to go through them all back to back for me, for sure. And they're long games, but they are something I wouldn't mind chipping away at, like to do, like one a year or something like that would be okay. But yeah, I'm more interested in that remake of Haunted Castle. That's the whole reason I want to buy that collection. I'm a Haunted Castle fan. I'm the rare one who likes it. You like the Sub-Zero game. Well, maybe I'll be there with you. Sometimes I like games that are pretty widely hated. Tony Hawk Pro Skater on the Game Boy Color is a bad one. Played that one in middle school. I remember those games being pretty popular, but I haven't actually tried one of them. Hey, we just got a new follow. Welcome to the stream, my new friend. Thank you for coming on board with us. I'll let you be anonymous if you would prefer that, but I am grateful for you. It's one of the worst games. The Sub-Zero, Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero Mythos is one of the worst games ever made, Chozo says. That's what they said about Bubsy 3D, but I like that game. Kasarigama, welcome in. Happy Sunday night, my friend. Didn't like the PlayStation 1 Beast Wars game, but love the TV series. Console games on Game Boy usually weren't good. I know now. Is there a game where I like the Game Boy version better than the console version? I'd have to think about that. I don't know if there is. I like Burger Time better on Game Boy than I do on the NES, but that might not be an objective opinion. That's probably a very nostalgia biased opinion. That might be the only example. I like Tetris on the Game Boy more than the SNES, Eddie says. Yeah, I was thinking about Game Boy Tetris versus NES. I haven't played it on the Super NES. But I might like the Game Boy more than the NES, but it's harder to say with those two. I've definitely played it more on the Game Boy. Yeah, that's true. Those are, you know, not as dramatic of a difference in the bits. So, yeah, I don't know. I might not be able to think of an example. There's got to be something out there, though. There's got to be something, right? Where the Game Boy got it better one time. Doesn't there? No, what am I doing? That was a bonehead jump. Game Boy Tetris has barely any music? Fall of the Foot Clan is good on the Game Boy? Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any connection to Beast Wars. I don't think I ever saw it. It was like Transformers. Was it like an early like computer generated animation? Mid-90s, kind of PC generated. All right, I didn't actually watch it, but I think I can remember. I think what it looked like. I think I'd recognize it if I saw like a screenshot from it. I'd be like, "Oh, that's Beast Wars," but I wouldn't be able to tell you anything about like who the characters were or what the plot was or anything. But I think I could recognize what it looked like. I actually never watched Transformers either. I'm just like I'm just barely too young. I'm just barely too young. I missed like some of those like things that were really big at the start, like the more like toward the earlier 80s. G.I. Joe and Transformers and I don't know, Voltron. Stuff like that. Like Voltron might be older, I don't remember. But definitely G.I. Joe and Transformers. Like people who are really close to my age all remember those fondly, but or like He-Man, there's another one. But I just don't remember any of those. the first cartoons like that I remember being really attached to are like Ninja Turtles and Ghostbusters. Those are my like earliest like cartoons that I was super into as a kid. Of the Turtles cartoons, Burger King gave them out back when KidVid was a thing. Yeah, the real Ghostbusters. Yeah, that's the one. I don't feel like I actually saw that cartoon a whole bunch. But I saw it. I saw it enough. I saw it enough that I really liked it. That I had all the toys and like the car and the firehouse and that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't really know anything about that other Ghostbusters. I know it exists, but I've never seen it or anything. What was your go-to cartoon as a kid? I kind of just answered that. It was probably Ninja Turtles, Ninja Turtles and Ghostbusters, but probably Ninja Turtles more than that. And after Ninja Turtles, it would have been Batman. Batman the Animated Series. I really loved that. Those are probably my biggest ones. I mean, I watched other stuff every now and then. I don't remember watching as much live cartoons. I mean, I know I did, like, like Saturday morning cartoons were a thing. But more than that, I feel like I watched a lot of cartoons on tape. We had a lot of VHS tapes that would just be like 6 hours of random cartoons. And I'd watch those on repeat. So there's a lot of stuff that I had like one episode of. Like The Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3. I only ever watched one episode of that cartoon. Because I only had one on the tape. And we had a bunch of VHS tapes with like really old like Max Fleischer cartoons and like those cartoons that like Cuphead tries to imitate, like the rubber hose animation, like Betty Boop and Humpty Dumpty and stuff like that. Popeye. I had a lot of that kind of stuff too. Had like 20 or 30 go-to cartoons. Yeah, way more than I would say I followed. Captain Planet. I remember Captain Planet. Yeah, I saw that a bit. I always liked I always liked when Captain Planet, like, in an episode, something happened where, like, he, was missing one of his elements. I think there's an episode where where they form Captain Planet without the heart element, so he's evil Captain Planet. And there's one where some of the Planeteers are like in outer space, and because like because they're not on the planet, he can't form properly, so like he doesn't have the wind power, so he can't fly. That intrigued me. That stuck with me. Super Mario World was a fun cartoon. Yeah, and I think, again, like, I think that's one. I think I only had one episode of that. The episode of Super Mario Bros. 3 I had was one where I feel like at the end of it, they have a treasure chest where they keep pulling out different powers as they're like battling Bowser. And so there's like a montage where a whole bunch of Mario superpowers get featured back to back in like one extended like montage battle against Bowser. I feel like I remember that about it. The Mario World episode that I had was one where I think Mario invents the telephone, and for some reason chaos breaks out. I feel like I remember there being like vines, like tangled vines that are like telephone lines everywhere, causing problems. Mario cartoon was okay. It kind of kept to the lore for the most part. Plots are random, but it was solid. Love SWAT Cats, Mock says. I don't know that one. I feel like I've heard the title, but I don't have any experience watching it. Inspector Gadget. Yeah, I saw a bit of that. Street Sharks was so good. I had so many of their toys. I had one Street Sharks toy. I never watched the show, but I had one of the toys. It was a shark. I think he was kind of a dark blue color. He had a great big drill for a nose. I remember that about him. He had a great big drill. There was like a button on his back you could press to make it spin. Did you watch Extreme Ghostbusters? I did not. He had one of the bad guys. I had one of the bad guys. Did you ever see the Toxic Crusader cartoon? No, I didn't see that either. Had a few of those toys. They all came with slime. Watched a lot of 60s and 70s cartoons thanks to Boomerang growing up. So that's like a cable, channel, right? So I didn't have a lot of regular access to like cable or satellite TV. So things like that, or like Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon, very little exposure to those from my childhood. Most of the stuff, like if it was a Nickelodeon or a Cartoon Network show, I probably don't know it. I might know of it, but I don't know it very well. My access to those kind of things was very infrequent. Do kids today find 60s and 70s cartoons watchable, I wonder? Uncle Muscle says. Probably depends on the kid. Scooby-Doo, Flintstones, Jetsons, Hong Kong Phooey, maybe Tom or Jerry. Tom and Jerry is the one of those that, like, definitely I think holds up the best for me. Flintstones and Jetsons I always hated even as a kid. I couldn't stand the Flintstones and the Jetsons. I mean, I would watch them, like, if they're on, I might watch them because, like, it was better than watching, like, something like MASH when I was a kid. Like, it was better than watching anything live action, but just barely. The Flintstones and the Jetsons are so boring. I loved them. I couldn't stand the Flintstones. It just always seemed like some boring adult situation, and they just stick the word rock in front of it. And that's not enough to make it amusing to me as a kid. This week on the Flintstones, Fred gets summoned to rock jury duty. But he can't decide if the suspect is rock innocent or rock guilty. How will he rock vote? Oh, it's so boring. Wacky Races was a good 60s and 70s cartoon? I don't know that one. Found Flintstones and Jetsons very dry, Uncle Muscle says. All the voices are gravelly and old man sounding too. Frownie making a Family Guy joke. MASH's theme song would drag me into a deep depression as a kid. Yeah. I was actually surprised I was informed that it's actually a very highly revered comedy. The theme song itself is like... It has some pretty dark lyrics. I don't think they actually played any of the lyrics to the theme song on the show, but I don't know. MASH was always depressing to me because I feel like it came on, like a MASH rerun would come on whenever cartoons ended for the day. So, like, the MASH theme song was, like, especially depressing to me as a kid because it meant that, like, now boring grown-up stuff was coming on TV. Pink Panther is a great cartoon. I never really saw much of that. I poke fun at Family Guy after the first 2 seasons, Chozo says. Yeah, I'm not, I've never really been that big into Family Guy. It's not something that it's not something that I've, watched with much interest. That's exactly it. The theme song meant it was time to go to sleep, Tommy says. Hey, Master Tuesday, welcome in. Happy Tuesday. Oh, thank you for the lurk. Good luck with the work Tuesday. I appreciate the lurk in the background, and keep your fingers crossed. We're planning Pizza Tower tomorrow night. I don't expect anything will get in the way of that, but you know, I want to keep reminding people my schedule is going to be a bit unreliable for the next couple weeks. But if I can make it happen tomorrow and the night after, we're going to try and do Pizza Tower 2 nights back to back. Buddha Fingers, welcome in. Where's the wheel? Yeah, I have the wheel turned off tonight. I'm just not feeling like it. I got hit with a nasty dose again of that peach sauce the last spin we did last week, and I don't know, I just ate right before the stream. I just don't feel up to it. That peach ghost pepper sauce is brutal. Absolutely brutal. I like challenging myself. I like challenging myself with something spicy, but you gotta be prepared for it. Maybe some things are not wheel material. I mean, I don't even really think that sauce is that worse than, I don't really think the sauce is even that, like, it's not worse than the, what were they, the sunflower seeds? The sunflower seeds are still worse, but yeah, I'm just not feeling like it tonight. If we can't watch you suffer, what's the point? I mean, I think I'm suffering plenty between Jump King and Mike Tyson. I got enough to keep my spirits low. Make a wheel of health foods. You have to eat strange fruits and vegetables. The idea is a noble one, but I really don't want to have to mess with anything perishable. The predecessor to the wheel was fresh peppers. I would eat spicy peppers, and the original thought was that I would try to eat spicier peppers. Like, I would try to increase the spicy pepper factor all the time, but if I still lived in Houston, that would have been great. But in Wisconsin, there is a much narrower variety of spicy peppers available to me. But yeah, I used to eat serrano peppers, and the thought was that like I would slowly work up the Scoville scale, but I couldn't get a variety of peppers, and it's such a hassle to keep fresh peppers in stock that yeah, I eventually went to non-perishable items. That's why I went to the hot sauces and the candy and stuff. Non-perishable, much more convenient. Why would you move to Wisconsin from Houston? Oh, how could I not? I always wanted to move up north from as long as I can remember. He's part Yeti. I always wanted to live somewhere really cold for like as long as I could remember. As long as like as soon as I knew that there were places where it was winter, you know, year round. I didn't quite make it. I didn't quite make it that far north or south, but I got considerably closer than Kentucky, where I grew up. Houston was like the exact opposite of where I wanted to live. It's 100 degrees every day of my life down there. Or it sure seemed like it. Other than that, like, I mean, I don't like living in a big city. But, you know, we had good jobs, we had good friends. Life was good in a lot of ways down there. But, I'm not built for city life, and I'm definitely not built for the heat. So when we got the opportunity to come up here, it was a release. I put a lot of effort into getting out of the north in winter. We're the exact opposite, EpiPen. As a guy who used to eat habaneros, those are painful, especially if you get it in your eyes. Oh yeah. And that was one of my goals, was to work my way up to eating habaneros on the stream. But like, I can't really get, and I can get habaneros. I can get serrano peppers. I can get jalapenos, Fresno peppers, and I can get habaneros. But really, that's it. Like, it's not really a wide variety. I did live in Thailand. I did. Thailand was both hot and wet. The weather in Thailand was miserable too. I liked living in Thailand a lot, but not for the weather. I don't see why city life would matter to you. You just stay in your house and play video games. You can do that anywhere. You know, I don't cease to exist when I turn the stream off, EpiPen. I do have this whole life that happens outside of this camera. uh. I knew that would cause some shock and confusion. I should have never admitted to that. I thought all streamers were just AI generated characters, including myself, Tuesday says. There's definitely a bug in my programming. I can't think of much else that's terribly healthy that won't go bad quick. Olives or pickles or cheese, maybe. I do like olives. I do like olives quite a bit. Olives are pretty salty, though. And low sodium olives are not an option. Oh, I bought low sodium olives one time by mistake. Oh, that was horrifying. They were so bad. My algorithm was immediately modified. When I got the wheel, the initial idea for the wheel, so I got the wheel before I had the idea to put spicy food on it. The original thought behind the wheel was that I would use it as a method to select games to play. But then we didn't do that, so I had to think of something else to use it for. And I think spicy foods is pretty good. I don't think you could force an AI to sit through those dreadful Austin Powers games. Oh. Only if you want like a Skynet Rise of the Machines kind of situation, right? A great game redemption uproar of 2022. That did get me Alien 3. So it definitely wasn't all bad. Battle of the Olympus. Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. I almost started up a playthrough of that. I don't remember why I got distracted away from it. That's another one of those, like, it's like Xanadu or Zelda 2. That looks like something I like. In theory, I should have fun with it. Ooh. Oh, I'm doing bad. It's just so difficult. Oh. That screen that we just fell from, that's my PB. I haven't figured out that screen, obviously. That's the highest I've seen. I've seen it before, but yeah. That's the highest I've seen. I just don't. I think I know what to do there, but I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. I need to do a bunch of little jumps to get that one figured out. If I can just make it back. That's such a evil game. No, I overshot. No. Ugh. We almost made it back. We almost made it back up there. Yeah, it was still a screen away, but... I got real lucky there. No. No. Ah, it's so difficult. Any fall in the volcano is programmed to bring you to this exact square. No matter where or how you fall in the volcano, it takes you to that exact square every time. I knew they'd have a laundry chute of doom. Oh, that reminds me. I have laundry that I need to put in the dryer. I forgot to do that. Oh no, I didn't. I didn't forget. In fact, yeah, I can hear the dryer running. I forgot I remembered. When you're back down in the bog, what are you doing in the menu? Oh, when I go to the bog, I need to put on the snake ring. The bog has very deep platforms. The platforms are they're like sandy. They're like walking through packed snow. And normally you can't. Jump King can't actually walk through those kind of platforms. You're only relegated to hopping. So you can't reposition yourself unless you equip the snake ring. The snake ring lets you walk on platforms you otherwise would not be able to. At least it lets you walk on the really deep platforms. The drawback to the snake ring is it turns the whole world into ice physics while you wear it. So there is a positive and negative, but that negative is really worth the positive. So yeah, every time I fall down there, I have to equip the snake ring, and then I want to take it off as soon as I get out. I'm real lucky I figured that one out too. Because when I first got the snake ring, I didn't know the benefit. When I got the snake ring, I equipped it, and I noticed it turned everything to ice physics, and I thought, oh, the snake ring is a troll item. It's just here to make you waste a lot of time for an item that's just that's just a practical joke. So I thought I'd been pranked. But I ended up, I don't know, somehow I had a stroke of brilliance, and I ended up deciding to test it out in a snowdrift, and it worked. And then it also worked in the bog, so thank goodness. Because yeah, without the snake ring, getting out of the bog would be an hours long prospect. It would be so much worse. Hey, Mets, welcome in. Thank you for the lurk. Hope all is well for you tonight. The other items, so crown, magic crown, scholar's hat, shoes, yellow shoes, tunic, I think are all just aesthetic. The giant boots make you unable to walk. It's basically the opposite of the snake ring. It turns all platforms into like snowdrifts. I haven't found any good side to it. The gold ring is not equipable, but is you trade it for one of the other items. I just ended up with an extra one. And the bug's note has no purpose either. It's just it says, I think it's pretty clear who won. He smell you later. I think it's just something you get for being slow. The bug's note. Other items may have a purpose, but I haven't found it if they do. I thought the purpose of the shoes was to give you increased traction on icy platforms, but it turns out that is not actually the case. That it was my imagination. When I equipped the shoes, it didn't actually give me increased traction. But it's like it had a placebo effect on me. And I don't remember what broke that. Oh, cool. We get to do the whole tower again. Awesome. Awesome loss of progress. My throat's really sore tonight. I guess I haven't spoken very much for the last couple days. I'm getting my throat's getting a little sore, like from talking a whole bunch. Probably give this game about 1 more hour before we switch. I want to give Jump King and Punch Out close to equal time tonight. Well, I plan on giving Punch Out about 4 hours. Because 4 runs seems to be all I have the stamina for in that game. Well, I think actually 3 runs is all I have the stamina for, but I usually go for a 4th and it just goes really badly. And we're gonna keep that tradition alive. Just accept a peaceful life among the cats. I mean, if I had to stay forever in one of the environments in the game, this wouldn't be the worst choice. It's kind of cozy in here. Plenty of books to read. You got a lot of company. it's a nice snowy night outside. Yeah, there could be a lot worse places. Those cats speak English, too. At least one of them does. It's only happened once, but it did happen. One of the cats spoke to me in English. He said, "Why don't you try landing on your feet instead of your face?" Yeah, it's one of the best pieces of flavor text I've found in the game. I don't know where I was going. I don't know where I was going. That was a bad idea all around. Uh-oh. That is not an area where you want to be overshooting a lot of jumps, and that's exactly what I was doing over and over again. It's so difficult. Oh, I wish I had some way of making these more consistent. Awesome. I know there's all these times where it looks like I do the exact same thing 400 times in a row, but I swear I'm trying to do something different. The thing is, I'm just trying to do it slightly different, and I end up doing it the same. I got a bad feeling about this run. My way up here was really messy, so I don't know, I feel like I'm starting off cursed. I mean, I don't think so. Once you faceplant, it just seems to be pretty much it. So unless there's an anti-faceplant item. The important thing to focus on is that we're making it back to the lava more frequently. That's both a good and a bad thing, right? Like, on the one hand, it's good to be consistent with this game. On the other hand, like, I kind of resent that I've practiced it that much. It's the Tyson fight of Jump King. Oh. I'm way better at making it back up here than I am at making it to Tyson. Frame perfect combo mode. Yeah, I have played really well tonight, I think. So far, at least. I did until now. Now everything is bad. I disagree. These cat lantern platforms are not only difficult, but frustrating. Because when you miss them, it just... Oh, it's so irritating. Because they're like... The corners of them are slow, so jumps that miss don't feel like you deserve to miss a lot of the time. That fall's not even possible. I feel like to fall like that, you have to get a less than minimum strength jump. How can your jump be less than minimum strength? Oh, you should just quit. I was doing well, but it's all trash now. It's completely turned around. I should have never said anything. Hey Greg, welcome in. Always more Jump King. This playthrough will never be over. This playthrough will never be over. I will be playing this until I die. I'm gonna be like that old man in the cave at the end of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Chilling for eternity with the Holy Grail in one hand and Jump King in the other. That's what she said about the Clinger-Winged thing in Battletoads too. Yeah, but didn't I play that? Didn't I play that game? Didn't I play that game for so long that I withered to dust and blew away in the wind? That's the way I remember it. Hey, Game and Fit, welcome in. 330 hours? That's how long it will take? I'm not even halfway there. I'm close, actually. I'm close to halfway there. Frownie will be playing this blindfolded soon. I can't do anything of value anymore. It's so irritating. Why does this game have to be so irritating? Cool. At least I saved it, but I am very much in a very negative mind space now. I've done a complete 180. I was feeling so happy mere moments ago. I was feeling really good about how well I'd done. And now I just feel like garbage. All my happiness is gone. There's a lot of these, like, invisible Tetris block platforms that, like, you can see as I'm moving up here. Most of them I have never stood on. I don't know if they're, like... I can't understand even the point to reaching a lot of them. Like that one out there on the left. It looks like that's there to catch you if you miss a jump, but I have never landed on that. That platform out there has never caught me, not even once. Hey Direwolf, thank you for the lurk. Very much appreciate that. There's one on this screen too, off to the right, that I've never actually landed on. No. That screen down there, one screen below this one, that's where the fake ending was, by the way. When we got there, the game wanted us to think that was the ending, but it was also very suspicious, so it didn't fool me quite as thoroughly as as it would have wished to have. It seemed way too early to be the end, and also it looked kind of off. How did I miss that jump? How did I miss it so badly? No. It's so awful. It's so awful. I was gonna say, this game doesn't seem worth playing to me. A Mile High Roll, welcome in. Nice fall, thank you. I can understand if you mistakenly thought I was flying for a moment. I was falling with such style. Yeah, it's gotta be infuriating to watch him sink through those platforms. Oh, it's just so tedious. Ugh. Just sitting here having my time wasted as he slowly falls from one to the next to the next. Yeah, it's salt on the wound for sure. Frownie's mastered the art of falling gracefully. I don't know that there's much grace represented in anything I do anymore. You're quite spry. If only Fall Guys had released on the Switch at about the same time, I could have double featured them together. Couple hours of Jump King, couple hours of Fall Guys, and no one would be able to tell which game was which. Please, just let me get through the volcano just once, see what's on the other side. And let it be the end, so I can just be done and never have to come back again. I'm definitely asking for too much. No! Ah! I can't even make it up one extra platform. That is as far as I can get. I was in as perfect a spot as I could be to make that jump happen. And I just can't get up there onto that ledge. Falling upward. That's what I've been waiting for. The one type of environment that I haven't seen yet that I feel like has to happen somewhere in one of these maps. The one thing I haven't seen is an area where gravity reverses, and my great fear right now is that that's what's at the top of the volcano, is like a gravity reversal section. Which I'm not exactly sure how they would implement with, like, retaining the ability to have you fall into previous areas. Like, it seems like if gravity shifts, I don't know, they'd have to teleport your character or something. Simon says no. No, what am I doing? Awesome. Double awesome. Misery. Absolute misery. We're only playing this game one night this week, so, you know. When I come back to it next week, I'm going to be extra horrible. If I'm doing this well right now, it's going to be heartbreaking. It's going to be heartbreaking to be so super rusty next week. Hey, Board Jams, afternoon. Doing good, good to hear. I'm playing Jump King, so things are very stressful. Too weak. Oh, awesome. Scooby-Doo and the Witches, Ghosts, Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders off of Amazon on Blu-ray, Port Jam says. Right on. I don't know that I've actually seen those. I'm not a huge Scooby-Doo fan. My sister was really into Scooby-Doo when she was a kid, but it never really got my attention all that much. I mostly think of Scooby-Doo as being a show full of celebrity guests that were celebrities that were all so old I didn't know who they were. As always, this week, Scooby and the gang meet Dawn Knotts. I do remember they met Batman one time, and that was fun. But yeah, I have heard of those. The Witch's Ghost and the Alien Invaders. I think I might have played. Was there an Alien Invaders video game? No, that's Cyber Chase. Was the video game I played. I've heard the titles. But yeah, my sister was the big Scooby-Doo fan between the two of us. I know more about the Scooby-Doo video games than anything, and they're pretty painful. They're not the worst. They're definitely not the worst. Like, but they can be kind of frustrating, some of those Scooby-Doo games. No, I knew I was going over. Gross. It messed up. I didn't go down quite as far as I'm supposed to. The game messed up a little bit. I'll take it. Pizza or popcorn? Popcorn or pizza? I haven't had popcorn in a long time. I really like popcorn too. Well, I guess you know, what I really like is butter. I really like butter, and popcorn is an excellent butter delivery system. A lot of foods are like that, right? Like a baked potato. I saw a bright light the last time I ate butter. It was beautiful. uh, all that for nothing. All that we're jumping in a circle, and I just ended up falling down anyway. Here we go again. I knew I was gonna miss that. Ah! This is impossible. This is impossible. I'm never gonna get this. It punishes every just... I can't even call them mistakes. It's not even mistakes. It punishes every, like... everything that happens. Right or wrong, it doesn't matter. You still get punished. Oh no, I realize I have to do it all over again instantly. That fall adds... I don't need that fall to realize what's happening. I mean, technically I know I have to do it all over again before I even get up there. Right? Like right now, I know the next time I see that spot, I'm not going to make it, and I'm going to have to do all this again. 80 more times. Before I quit for the night. So I cannot beat it next time, too. There is no getting through that area. There is no getting through that area. It's never going to occur. You decided on popcorn. I mean, it just depends, like, do you need a snack or do you need a meal? Popcorn isn't very satisfying to have as a whole meal, right? But pizza could be overkill. Once you make popcorn, everyone in the house wants some. Just looking at the time. We can go with this for a while yet. I'm still... don't have to feel like I'm eating into Punch-Out's time yet. Think of how much time on the stream it would free up if I could just finish this. If I could just be done with Jump King. Think of how much time we would get back. Hours and hours and hours. You should hope it doesn't take me 330 hours game fit, because I can't promise that I'm gonna feel. I don't think I'm gonna feel like you correctly predicted the right time. I think I'm gonna feel like you cursed me. Oh. In the jungle, you must wait until the dice read 5 or 8. I haven't watched Jumanji in like 20 years, and I feel like I've brought it up like 3 streams in a row now. Oh yeah, I haven't watched any of the late stuff. I don't really get interested in those. I don't really get interested in those like late sequels that don't have anything to do with the older ones. Which is like every movie they make nowadays is like a reboot sequel. Soft reboot. I mean, all this like remakes of stuff isn't really like it isn't really a new phenomenon, right? It's just that like I just feel it's just I think the thing that's more that might be, and I'm not super literate in the history of film, but I think like why it seems odd is because so much stuff that's getting remade and rebooted is franchises that began as films. But like, I mean, as far as you go back into film, there's like, you know, like think of how many times like the same Sherlock Holmes movie got remade, or you know, how many times the Phantom of the Opera got made into movies, right? It's just it's the same, it's the exact same thing happening as far back in the past as is what is happening now. It just seems odd now because stuff that like either began or broke into popular consciousness as a film is what's being remade instead of something that started as a book. I think that's the only thing that's really different about it. Would Jump King be as good if they took away the possibility of falling all the way down to the bottom? I mean, it would destroy the whole purpose of the game. Yeah, I've heard of getting over it. People talk about that a lot when I'm playing this. Apparently it's not on the Switch though, so I think I'm safe from that one. Though I did intend that I would play it. When people first started telling me about it. Um, like I thought, oh, okay, that would be a good one to do next, but it doesn't look like it's on the Switch. Mostly classics back then. It seems everything gets remade now. Remember when Xbox One and PlayStation 4 came out? The entire first year, it was just games like Halo remastered. Yeah, I normally want to play something like I normally prefer to play games in the earliest release of them that I can do. I don't feel like I always have to play the original release on original hardware. Like, it's not mandatory that I do, but if I'm able to, that's what I like to do with a lot of games. I don't tend to get super excited about remade and remastered games, but I'm not picky about, I'm not picky about visual quality and stuff like that. I'm not like a super dedicated videophile or anything. Like, old blurry resolutions look fine to me. I want to see Frownie tackle only up. Mandatory internet and camera. I'm afraid to buy more Xbox games because I feel like they're not making a new Xbox. I don't know. I don't follow the modern gaming world enough to really know. On the one hand, it would feel weird to not have a new Xbox out there in the world. On the other hand, I mean, I could see Microsoft just wanting to push everyone, onto PCs, so I don't know. Xbox is just my digital movie container at this point. I don't think Game & Fit was saying they did stop making Xboxes. I think Game & Fit's worried they will stop making Xboxes. Future, not present. Xboxes. Sounds weird. I would go PC before I went PlayStation. I'm an Xbox guy, at least over the PlayStation, Uncle Muscle says. Yeah, I don't really have strong feelings either way. I've spent more time with I haven't played any of the new ones hardly. I've spent more time with the Xbox 360 than I have with the PlayStation 3. But as for which I like better, I don't know. They are very much the same to me. I think I like the Xbox 360 controller better. I think I can say that. As long as people are trading Christmas gifts, there'll be video game consoles. Blasphemy! I thought we could have been friends. No, I don't like the PlayStation 3 controller very much. The 360 controller definitely isn't perfect, but I don't know. The PlayStation 3 controller feels so cheaply made. It feels brittle. It feels like something like 3D printed. I don't know. It does not give me the confidence. It does not give me confidence that I'm holding a high quality electronic device. I feel like I'm holding something very fragile. I liked the PlayStation 4 controller a lot. I really liked the PlayStation 4 controller. And the PlayStation 3 controller would be way better for retro games. Though I haven't really played any retro games with either. Best controller scheme was in Star Wars Episode 1 Pod Racer, where you play by dual-wielding N64 controllers, Tuesday says. Well, that's certainly a unique opinion. You could play GoldenEye and Perfect Dark like that too, right? I never tried it out, but I believe I've heard one or both of them can be played in a dual controller fashion. 360 was ahead of the PlayStation 3. PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 had an awesome library, Uncle Muscle says. Yeah, I missed a lot of the comments back up here. I'm catching up real quick. Oh, Meat Boy is good. Meat Boy I played ages ago. I played that back when I lived in Korea. Just go now before someone realizes what you've done. Preferred Pod Racer over F-Zero X, Game & Fit says. I haven't really played much of either. I did play the Pod Racer game a little bit. I wasn't any good at it. I wasn't immediately good at it. I didn't play it long enough to become so. Yeah, the N64 joystick is terrible. Terrible quality. Hey Derek, welcome in. Welcome to more and more hours of never-ending agony. You're a natural at Pod Racer and don't know what game and fit? Yeah. Yeah, the stick literally grinds down to powder, right? I had a really good Nintendo 64 joystick or controller. I got it as new old stock, and I only started using it a few years ago on the stream, but it's already just a couple years of pretty infrequent use. It's already starting to be not super good. Like I'm already looking at replacing it, replacing parts of it, or maybe getting a different controller altogether. Replacing the stick, or getting a different controller. It's worn down pretty quickly. Saw Beetlejuice 2 yesterday. Loved it, Derek says. Right on. Glad you had a good time. I may watch it. I may watch it if I catch it for free on streaming at some point. I don't have any plans to go out and see it. But if I spot it on Amazon Prime or something some night, I might give it a watch. Oh, everything's real bad now. I can't even be fazed by a fall like this. This fall literally happens every single time I play this. Like, this is nothing new. I come down here every single session. At this point. Fallen down and dropped my crown. Yeah, that's why I'm wearing this green dunce cap. It's annoying to fall down here, but you know, after 12,000 times it loses its sting. I just expect it. Playing the game like you're actually driving a pod racer is cool. Don't deny it, Tuesday says. The Phantom Menace is probably my most watched Star Wars movie. Of the, out of all of them, I think it's pretty easily the one I've seen the most number of times. Now this is pod racing. Some people say episode 1 was the worst game, and Fit says I always point to episode 8. I had to work on that Roman numeral for a moment. I'll try spinning. That's a cool trick. I'm glad I got this on sale. I was going crazy and only played it around an hour. I barely got far. I retired the game already. Hey, we have a raid coming in. Welcome in, Sots. Thank you for the raid. Welcome to Jump King. I should be done with Jump King any moment now, but yet I keep playing it. I'm long overdue to call it a night with this one. I hope you've had a good stream. Things are going really bad here tonight. They were going really well about an hour ago, but this last hour has been miserable. It seems addictive. Hi, Enigma. Welcome in. Thank you for coming along. Says Metroid Prime in the shout out. So, almost certainly you were having a better time than me. And I haven't even played that game, and I feel that way. Yeah, I can't quit because I lost progress now. Having a hard time with Metroid Prime, but sticking with it. Hopefully things turn around for you. Yeah. Whenever you, it just saves wherever you're at. So if I stop playing, then yeah, it just picks up exactly where you were. This game's like a warning from a horror film. Just run as far as you can, Derek says. Even though I played it like a goober. Yeah, we might. We might. I might just play Jump King and hope that Tyson just perishes of old age and I win by default. I do know of a game where a boss will die of old age if you don't fight him for a week or so. I'm not even sure how that works from like a technological standpoint. It must be a more modern game. That'd probably happen to me, because it'd probably take me more than a week to get to him. I don't know how you deal with this game. It's a nightmare. I mean, you know, I knew what I was getting into when I signed up for it. I knew what I knew what I was signing up for when I started playing it. I thought I did anyway. And it's, you know, the feeling that, you know, I've sunk a lot of time into it. And, you know, the only way to redeem my lost time is to lose more of it. I'm noticing this game is on sale on Steam. Yeah, a lot of people have been telling me they picked it up on sale recently. I've heard a lot of stories of regret in the chat over the past couple nights about Jump King's on sale. I bought it. It's terrible. uh. Frownie handles stress well, Game & Fit says. My doctor told me he straight up thinks my mental health is the direct cause of the pain I've been having, so I've got to learn how to deal with the stress before I can play again. I mean, I've had a lot of practice. I don't handle stress well. I freak out at the slightest mistake. You probably don't want to play Jump King. Don't do it, Enigma, Derek says. Wasn't playing new games when the GameCube was new. It's fun going back, Sot says. I'm very similar. I'm very similar to that. Sot. I got the GameCube like I got the GameCube when I was in high school. GameCube came out when I was in high school. Like about halfway through, I guess. And then when I went to college, I didn't play anything new for a very long time. I took my Super Nintendo and a handful of favorites, and those were the only games I really played for all of college. So I missed the Wii almost entirely. I mean, I played a little bit. I played a little bit of modern games, sort of socially. So I played Mario Kart Wii, and I played some of the Call of Duty games from that time. But that was really it. I missed out on the overwhelming majority of stuff from that time period. So I have a lot to go back to as well. It's also why I've got this giant collection of retro games that I've never played, and I've never played any of them. That was because even though I stopped playing anything new, and that was like, even old stuff that I bought, I didn't play. Like, even just new to me, I didn't play stuff. I never stopped buying games. I was still going out and scooping them up at flea markets and garage sales that whole time. And just tucking them away in boxes. Just like, I'll play these someday. Doing a service to your future self. Yeah, it finally ended up being that way. And finally, when I started doing the stream, I started making time to go back and play a lot of stuff. I mean, I was working at it a little bit. Before the stream started up, but the stream kicked me into high gear for playing catch up with stuff. Finally getting around to all those Wipeout and Lizzie McGuire games I've been sitting on for years. Decades, even. Building a GameCube library is expensive these days. Yeah, and my GameCube library never got really off the ground. I don't have a lot of GameCube games, and yeah, GameCube games are crazy expensive. My library gets pretty thin at that era. It's pretty robust for NES and SNES and N64, and then it thins out real quick after that. I'm happy to not be nuts enough to go for Virtual Boy or Saturn. Oh, but the Virtual Boy only has like 16 games, right? I think I've already got a quarter of the library. It's incredibly deceptive. I know some of them. I know some of them are really crazy expensive. Virtual Boy has the sweet Terminator vision. So I had a Virtual Boy. We got a Virtual Boy for Christmas the year it came out, and so I spent a lot of time playing Virtual Boy. I played a lot of Mario Tennis and Galactic Pinball. Quite a bit of Mario Clash as well, and a little bit of Red Alarm. Red Alarm is kind of terrible. That's why I wear these giant thick glasses now. Thanks, Virtual Boy. Yeah, so Mario Tennis, Mario Clash, Galactic Pinball, and Red Alarm are the games I had when I was young, and I've since picked up Wario and Tellero Boxer. I have both of those. I think that's it. I think I have the 6 games. I don't think I have anything else for it. I thought a while back on April Fool's Day I was gonna schedule a Virtual Boy on our schedule, and then when it actually came, I was just gonna sit here and play the Virtual Boy on the stream, like just have the stream be a night of just the big camera like this. And I just sit at the desk and just play the Virtual Boy, and no one will be able to see what I'm doing, of course. It'd be like, watching me play Jump King right now. Just do a whole night. Just do a whole night of Virtual Boy was what I was thinking about doing. Not even be able to read the chat. not even be able to read the chat because I have my head buried in it. I was really tempted to do that to everybody, but then I came to my senses. I think you can play. I think you can play the Virtual Boy library via emulator. Waterworld. What a platform to release that movie on. I've seen someone play it, Buddha says. I think, yeah, I think Virtual Boy emulation is usually black and white. Allegedly, you can get it going on a 3DS with a 3D effect. That's kind of cool. You can choose your own color instead of red on the 3DS. We're getting very near the end of the time that I'm going to be willing to give to Jump King tonight. What is that? Okay, I think the next time I fall below this area, when I fall below the waterfalls, it's time for Punch Out. I'm going to keep going as long as I'm up here, but I'm not going to run at that tower again. So if I fall below this, then we're going to take a BRB and we're going to play Punch Out for the rest of the night. I've never been able to see a 3D effect with the old two-color glasses. Those have never worked for me. I don't know why. I don't appear to be colorblind or anything. So I don't know why. Those have never worked for me. If you can choose a game to win tonight for free, would you rather beat Jump King or Punch Out? Oh, Jump King, 100%. I think Punch Out might be the harder of the two to accomplish, but I've been playing this for so much longer at this point that I'm ready to be done with it. Like, that could be a waste of a wish, but that's the way I would make it, no doubts. I watched The Stranger. It was okay, Derek says. I don't think I know of that one. Oh, Jelly and I watched a movie. We watched The Never-Ending Story. I finally watched that. I'd never seen it before. It's pretty rad. I really like all the the crazy characters and the scenery and stuff in Fantasia. Yeah, I never saw it. I never saw it before. Jelly never seen it either. It's kind of weird at the ending. The movie wraps up very weird, but it's all right. I want to watch that new Kevin Costner Western. It's 3 hours. I don't know what you're talking about, Derek, but hopefully it's good. Thank you for the bits, Enigma. Yeah, it's an animated emote. Game would fit. Is there anything on the C64 you've been thinking about playing? I haven't really been giving a lot of thought to the C64 Butterfingers. I'm sadly way out of touch with the C64 right now. There's nothing in particular I've been thinking. Well, there is. I found an educational game that I have high hopes for. There's an educational game I want to play on the C64, but like so far as actually setting it up and doing it, that hasn't really been on my mind for a while. The want to do it is always there, but it's kind of buried deep at the moment under nonsense. Granny's Garden was magical. That's what I want more of. I want more Granny's Garden type experiences. Time Tunnel was great. I want more stuff like that. Granny's Garden was a lot less frustrating than Time Tunnel. Granny's Garden was a purely delightful experience. Time Tunnel was a largely boring and frustrating experience that was occasionally super magical. Street Beat is a very cool game too. The Street Beat, I really feel like I should be able to complete a cycle, but it's really hard not to get ambushed by the enemy characters in that game. There are a lot of times where I feel very unfairly ambushed in that one. Clue finders. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I'm gonna get into Minecraft. I won't have to worry about jumping and falling every 5 seconds. I've had fun with Minecraft. The tough thing about the Commodore 64 is it has this absolutely gargantuan library. And I just never really know what to play with the C64. And then it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to get the games to actually function on the stream. I'm so bad at operating the C64 Mini. I just can't get stuff to work on it. I've tried so many times to get Short Circuit to play on the C64 Mini. I just don't know what to do. I can't get it to... The game just melts down. It melts down every time I try and play it. It boots up and I can play for like a few seconds, and then literally it glitches and melts down. It's so buggy. Alright, I am gonna try the tower again. If I fall into the cats, I'm definitely giving up though. Need better tags for everything, so you can say I like this and have it say, oh, play this. It melts down. Would you say it short circuits? I would, except it literally looks like the graphics are melting. The graphics like start to smear across the screen. It's the only game I've seen behave exactly that way. I don't know why I have trouble with it either. I would assume that the Commodore 64 is such a simple device that emulation of it should be 1,000% perfect, but that's why it's got to be user error, and there's no cure for that, unfortunately. Alright, that's it, my friends. Surprising no one, that's another night of Jump King where we don't win. Just like every night of Jump King. What a rough time. What a rough time. How does anyone have the heart to complete this game? I don't understand. I'm swiftly approaching 120 hours of this game. You don't need heart, you need soul. Oh, that's good. That's good. Alright, I'm gonna take a little BRB, my friends, and when I come back, punch out for the rest of the night. I'll see you again in just a couple minutes. Oh, thank you, Conqueror Worm. Appreciate the vote of confidence. I'm not feeling confident. I'm feeling flattened. We'll keep trying. We'll play it again next week. It'll probably go even worse. But we'll keep trying. I'll see you again soon.